Hey folks, this is Rebel Rousing Rich Bergeron.
It's the Tornado Tim Pacquiao.
And Psychic Tom Paget. Ready to see if I can make amends from last week's swing and a miss. One of those rare occasions.
Need some super glue for your shattered crystal ball there, buddy. The UFC fight the other night, we both blew this one. We had, of course, TJ Dillashaw, dynamic striking, good on his feet, can hang on the ground. We thought, well, Henry Cejudo's not going to wrestle him and beat him. So what did he do? He stormed him right off the bat, and in 32 seconds got the TKO the other night. And totally blew me away. I didn't watch it live because I couldn't get the stream to work. But I'm sure it was working, but I think I didn't even stay up with that late that night. Anyway, I did watch it after the fact, so I have seen it. Watched it the day after, and boy, TJ was a little bit concerned. They stopped it early. I guess he had somewhat of a beef, but actually the ref was on a show before. Guy from Massachusetts, Kevin McDonald. So anyway, Henry Cejudo just basically showed some incredible improvement in his striking, and just had that look on his face. I mean, they even mentioned it in the commentary that he just kind of bit down and looked like he was on fire, like just ready for this, and just took control of the fight very early and rocked TJ with a couple shots, and then it was over very, very quickly. Big surprise. And then we had Greg Hardy actually looking pretty decent most of the fight, but ended up just giving the most vicious illegal knee you could give to a fighter. Guy had his hand on the ground, his knees on the ground, and bam, right to the face. Just bad one. So he gets disqualified. Go figure, controversy surrounds it. Anyway, Gregor Gillespie probably won all the fans with his win over Yancy Medeiros. I did not watch this one yet, but he TKO'd him with 1 second left to go in the second round with some punches. Did you watch that one, Tom?
No.
No. Okay. Joseph Benavidez ended up winning a unanimous decision over Dustin Ortiz. Paige Van Zandt pulled off a armbar submission over Rachel Osovich, so she's kind of back on the winning streak there. Glover Teixeira notched another win over Carl Roberson by arm triangle choke. And the big surprise, Donald Cerrone, not a big surprise, but big clutch performance. He had a win over Alexander Hernandez, and I did watch this one too. Brilliant performance by him. He just showed the little kid there who's got more experience and who can go into deeper water, and just busted him out good and TKO'd him with a head kick and some punches. 3 minutes and 42 seconds into the second round. Also, Joanne Calderwood took control over Ariane Lipski after Lipski had about a 30-second burst in the first round, and then Joanne took over. She again showed what a little bit more experience brings to the cage. We had Alonzo Menafield beating Vinicius Alves Moreira, TKO first round, 3 minutes and 56 seconds. And also, before I forget, Donald Cerrone and Donald Cerrone and Conor McGregor might be fighting now. Donald called him out, and sounds like Conor is going to take that call out. So that could be his next.
Good, yeah, definitely good for Cowboy.
Yeah.
That was a smart call, and it'll be a great fight. Styles make fights.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
Let's see, we have Corey Sandhagen beating Mario Batista by armbar first round, 3 minutes and 31 seconds in. Dennis Bermudez beating Tay Edwards by unanimous decision. Jeff Neal beat Bilal Muhammad, also by unanimous decision. And then we had a first round rear naked choke win for chance encounter over Kyle Stewart. That was 225 into that one. And of course, we got to talk about Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, he might have scared Floyd a little bit, but Floyd, I don't think, saw enough to make him think their fight could be made for a rematch. He sort of looked like he was a scholarly old man sitting in the audience with that outfit on and his glasses. I don't know if you guys saw pictures of it, but it looked like he was trying to look intellectual. And yeah, he did comment on it. He said he didn't think there's any interest in a rematch, and he doesn't feel like coming out of retirement. So that's what he's saying.
I mean, when I saw the fight, Manny did what he had to do, but it was more of a case of Broner not doing really anything. And Broner, he's like a teacher in the summer, no class. Going into the fight, the way he acted towards Al Bernstein, and then his post-fight interview. I'm not the biggest fan of Jim Gray in the world. Al Bernstein, we've interviewed him. Can't find a nicer gentleman. Can't find a more knowledgeable boxing guy. And Bruner acted like a complete jackass. And then after the fight, he's talking to Jim Gray, and I'm doing this for the hood. They were against me, and this and that. And Jim Gray made a good point. He landed less than 8 punches around. How do you expect to win the fight? I was making a miss. But you weren't landing punches. That's the point of boxing, in punches. And so and Jim Gray said, you're 3-3-1, and I thought he was on 7-0 against you. And Jim Gray's like, well, that doesn't mean anything. That's the thing. Like, if I want to be, a track star, and I'm racing guys that are 50 years old, 300 pounds, and grandmothers with walkers, and I'm like, yeah, I'm 7-0. That's great, but you have to be good competition. That's like, you got a lot of these guys that for years made their names like fighting on the Midwest circuit when they were guys with, they didn't have strong sanctioning bodies. And you had a lot of these guys that were making up records and getting high records, and they fought no competition. By the time they stepped up, they got obliterated.
Right.
Because it means nothing. But then you have other guys that, fought good, stiff, hard competition, and maybe they didn't win all their fights, but, it seasoned them, it got them ready, and they were competitive, and then, they were able to step up to that next level, and if not win a world title, at least make a good showing. So hopefully Broner will go away.
Yeah. Yeah, this was, it's going to be hard to come back from this, and especially the behavior and the excuse.
Yeah.
Right.
What did you think of the Badby Jack fight?
Well, I didn't watch it, but I heard a lot about it, and remember that story we did years ago about the guy who was robbing banks or something, and he needed a DNA swab, and they got the Q-tip from the cut man, and they arrested him? Well, they wouldn't have needed a Q-tip. They just needed the shirt that Tony Weeks was wearing. If Badu Jack was in that situation, because, oh my God.
The guy that I follow on Facebook actually posted a picture of Tony Weeks, and when I commented on it, I'm like, yeah, you might need a Tide Pod or two for that. Tony Weeks actually liked the comment. I'm like, pretty cool.
Well, funny story. I rode the elevator with Tony Weeks at the Cosmopolitan. I probably should have introduced myself and gave him a card, but he was all dressed up. And I didn't want to bother him. He was on duty. He was doing fight refereeing that night at one of the events I went to there. So yeah, it was funny. Nobody recognized him. I knew who he was.
I recognized him in 2 seconds only because him and my old trainer were like long lost twins.
Yeah. So yeah, he's the referee of the night. Marcus Brown stayed undefeated at 23-0, but Badu Jack won Warrior Spirit of the Week award, I think. 22-1.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And without that cut, who knows what's going to happen? And it was a clash of heads, so it wasn't like a punch caused it. But good, crazy to imagine somebody being able to do that, but he did, and he got it stitched up, and hopefully he made a quick recovery. And we also had featherweights. Go ahead.
Lengthwise, it's pretty bad. And right where, basically like someone described it looking like an axe wound to the head.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another bit cut that I saw, and I'm not going back that far ago. Well, it's actually now that I'm thinking about it, it's further than it really seems in my mind. But there was a fight maybe around 2000 or 2001, which to me seems like 2 years ago, when it was really almost 20 years ago. But it was Arturo Gotti, and he was at the ESPN against a guy named Joe Hutchinson, who was a fringe contender. Skilled guy, tough guy, but he didn't have, he never took that next step up. So they're fighting on ESPN, and it was in Montreal, where Gotti was, originally raised. And in the first round, out of a 10-round fight, they clash heads. And Gotti, no surprise, sustains a wicked cut over the eyebrow. I mean, wicked. And, but the referee ruled it a punch. So now if the fight gets stopped, it's a TKO for Hutchinson. And, I mean, that fight, when you look at that cut, you're like, oh shit, this fight got to be stopped. They went I think the referee knew that he fucked up, and he knew that there'd be a riot if they stopped this fight, and I think the doctor knew it too. And Gotti went 9.5 rounds with this gaping wound over his eyebrow. In fact, if you go back to that tribute article I wrote for Gotti after his passing 10 years ago almost, that picture of that gaping wound, I think, is one of the pictures that we used in the slideshow.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it was a bad one, and somehow they were able to get it to stop bleeding enough to let the fight continue, but oh my god. I haven't even watched it, but I'm sure it was bad. Just by looking at it, I saw the pictures of it. Anyway, we I guess got a couple minutes here before we have to get our guest on, and let me tell you a little bit about our guest. He is Charles Krazy Horse Bennett, with a K, Krazy. He is 30-39 with 2 draws as an MMA fighter. He's 39 years old, and fought most of his career, I believe, at lightweight. Last fight was at Square Ring Promotions Island Fights 48 in June of last year. And we actually discussed him on the show, I believe, back in April of last year, because he was part of something called Cam Soda Legends, the adult site that put on a fight card. And he had a tough fight against Bruce Lutchmedial at that one. Lost the unanimous decision. But Tom, you said he fought one of your old training partners, Forrest Pets.
Yeah, that was I was there for that one, and it's kind of funny. Forrest was mentioning how Krazy Horse kept the talk up, and kept the chatter going, throughout the fight. Yeah, he's a character.
Well, I mean, nobody smiles that much except for maybe our other guest, Smiling Sam. Getting into a fight.
Yeah.
Getting ready. He's just character. I'm anticipating what we're going to get into here tonight. So we're going to connect with him. Let's get him on the show. Got him to LinkedIn, believe it or not. We have some music.
Hello?
Hello, Charles. Is Charles there?
Oh, yeah. Yes, this is he.
Hey, this is Rich from Fight News Unlimited. This is the Fight Talk Unlimited podcast. How's it going?
Oh, what's good, nigga?
We got a nice show going here, and we got a co-host here, Tom Padgett. He is our MMA guy, our psychic, resident psychic, and then we got Tornado Tony Pacquiao.
What's up?
All right.
I'm pretty bad with names, guys, so you guys got to forgive me.
Okay.
No problem, Krazy Horse. Hey, I've been watching you for years, man. I'm looking forward to this. You've been putting on a great show for a long time. Thank you for all the fun.
I first saw you back in the Pro Elite days, believe it or not. That's when I first started getting into MMA and getting in Fight News Unlimited going and being on conference calls and everything. And one of the things I remember most about you is the thing with when you handcuffed yourself to Gary Shaw. I think for one event. Remember that? So, I think we lost him. Hello. Oh, we lost him. Yeah, man. Charles.
Hey, yo.
We lost you.
Yeah, you're probably going to lose me again, though. I'm pretty sure you're going to lose me again, though.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely sure you're going to lose me again.
Uh-oh. You're in a bad spot?
No, I'm not in a bad spot, but I'm pretty sure it'll happen again.
Okay. Anyway, you remember the time that you were doing a promo for the Pro Elite event there, and you handcuffed yourself to Gary Shaw?
Yeah, I do remember that, and they had to go get the key.
Yeah.
They had to go find that. The officer had the key and shit. Why would you do that?
Now that was for real, right? That was not a stunt.
No, that was not. I actually did that with us. Oh, I'm such a player. I love to joke around.
That's awesome. Now, what would you say was your best fight of all time?
Candy Lay Silver, the knockout of Candy Lay Silver. Do you guys remember that fight? No one remembers it because it was never showed.
That sucks.
But I remember it.
And looking back on your career, what was your greatest achievement, do you think?
I would say, I don't know, man. I have. Yeah, it's all right though. Are you guys there?
Yeah, we're still here. So how about what do you love most about fighting? What was the thing that you really enjoyed most about getting in the cage and going at it, guys?
The free traveling, man.
Free travel.
Yeah, free traveling. I'm a broke nigga, so if I get to go somewhere, straight for free.
Free travel. And what was your favorite? Did you have a favorite type of style or submission or strike, punch, anything like that you really like to use? You really tried to dominate people with? Hello? You there? Charles, we got you? Oh, I lost him again. Give it one more shot. I think he's in a bad spot there.
Voicemail box of 3524941.
Well, oh jeez. anything with Tom here?
Well, I guess that cuts that one short, huh?
Short interview.
Wow.
Yeah. What do you expect? That was an on-the-fly setup. He's obviously got some other distractions going on, but anyway. We had a couple questions on him. Not bad. Just stumped him on one. But, yeah, he's got a pretty incredible record for a guy who just wanted to fight because he got free travel.
Yeah, that was good.
Anyway. Hopefully Tony...
You know, he had a 3-year hiatus. I did a little bit of wiki to get caught up.
Yeah.
And the horse has been on a 8-fight losing streak. So, and his last fight was last April.
Right.
Please leave your message for
Tony Pacquiao.
Uh-oh. Tony's not taking our calls either. Alright, let's add Tony again. So, I guess we'll move right along on the broadcast there. See what else I have. There's an interesting article on a site called TheRinger.com. And it's... hey, there he is. Alright. So, I was just saying, obviously we got to let Charles do his thing. He's otherwise distracted tonight. But, hey, it is what it is. I was talking about this article here on TheRinger.com. And it's probably the most comprehensive outlook on the UFC's labor issues with their anti-labor union stance. And, they're trying to keep these fighters from getting together. It kind of ties into another story that's even more entertaining, and it's Colby Covington. You might remember he was supposed to fight for the title that's never came to fruition here. Tyron Woodley is actually fighting somebody else, even though Colby won the interim title. And I believe he brought it right to Donald Trump's Oval Office and met with Donald Trump and everything with it. But now he's not even being given a chance to fight for the regular title. And it's because he basically did not agree to the date of the fight when the UFC wanted him to, because he's had a lot of injuries. But don't worry about other fighters don't need to worry about it, because he's going to stand up for them. He says I haven't heard anything from them, and I don't got anything to say to them about the UFC. He says they know where I stand, and they're not going to get any out of me, because I'm standing my ground. I'm standing up for all the fighters that don't have a fucking platform. They can't stand up against the UFC. All the shit the UFC gives them fucks all the fighter on the pay and just expects you to do things on the drop of a dime when they want it. So, he says, all these fighters are yes men. I'm not a yes man. I don't do things. When the UFC says to jump, I don't say I'm not that guy. The UFC knows where I stand. I'm standing up for what's right. People can hate me, they can love me, but I'm standing up for what I believe in and what I earn. In life, you can only stand by your word, and you got to have big balls in life, and that's what I got. So, yeah, he's going toe-to-toe with his promoter. So you might not see him in the cage for a while. There's a Colby Covington shutdown imposed by the UFC there, a little bit of a standoff. Anyway, just thought that was interesting. Roger Jack, we talked about that one. So, the big boxing match coming up this weekend. This is obviously Keith Thurman coming back to fight Josecito Lopez. He's come back from a major shoulder or elbow surgery. Which one? One of those two. You know, Tony?
Well, off the top of my head, I do not. I mean, Lopez is a good, tough fighter. I just don't think he has the size or the power to really challenge Thurman. I think you're looking at a mid-round. It's a good fight for Thurman to come back after, what has it been, 2 years now?
Right.
So,
yeah, almost. Yeah.
It'll be a good fight for him to come back on. But like I said, I don't think the guy that's really going to challenge him.
Well,
he's entitled. This is like I agree with you. This is a test, but not a severe test.
Well, you got to give a guy like that not a pushover, but somebody that could potentially win the fight because he's had so much experience. But you also can't throw him to a wolf because he's just coming back. He's obviously trained enough for it, but you never know. What kind of things can happen when you're using it at full force all of a sudden and you haven't in training. So, before we get to that fight and the whole card, a couple other ones worth mentioning. Up in Montreal, Canada, we have a super lightweight showdown for IBF, International Super Lightweight title, North American Super Lightweight title. Mathieu Germain, 16-0, fighting Steve Claggett, who's 27-5-1 there. And then we got Abraham Juarez, who's 13-1, fighting Sadruddin Akhmedov, who's 6-0. That one's for the vacant WBC Youth World Super Welterweight title. Nothing else spectacular there, but it's a decent card. Ugh, this is the most horrible card I've ever seen. Might have the mismatch of the week on here, but this is the main event according to this. 0-10 Wilkin Vladimir Vidal fighting Jose Adan Fernandez, who was 2-12. 0-10 versus 2-12. That's the main event. We got 7-1 versus 0-7. 20-9 versus somebody in their debut. Yikes.
7-20 and 9 draws. Did I hear that right?
Nope, 20-9. 20 wins, 9 loss.
Oh! I thought you said 7 wins,
debut.
20 losses, 9 draws.
No.
Okay.
And in Germany, we got Vincent Fagenbuch. He's 29-2. And with a last name like that, you can imagine why he got into boxing. Your opponent named Preslimlis Opalak. He definitely butchered that one. He is 27-2. His first 3 letters of his first name are PRZ. How the hell do you pronounce that? PRZEMY Slaw. My Slaw is the last part. Yeah, I can pronounce that. Anyway, Super Welterweights in the co-main event. Ahmed Ali, he is 13-0-1. Not to be confused with his cousin Ahmad Ali. Ahmad Ali, different. Dennis Krieger is his opponent, 14-7-2. That's for the vacant Global Boxing Union World Super Welterweight title. And then we got Sarah Borman, 9-0, fighting Sene Jha, who's 15-3-1 for the GBU Female World Lightweight title. Light Flyweight title, I should say. And the Women's IBF World Light Flyweight title. We have a Jesus fight in Mexico, but it's not the Jesus fight of the week, so let's get that one. Bigger Jesus fight of the week. Where is it? Mexico. I'll find it in a minute here. Alright, here's one from Uruguay. Jose Matias Romero, 20-0, fighting Javier Herrera, who's 16-2, for the IBF Latino Super Featherweight title. And we got co-main event of Angel Yomar Mateo Arias. He is 22-0, fighting Alfredo Rodolfo Blanco, 19-7. For that fight, you had to have at least 3 names to qualify. Alright, so here it is. Keith Thurman, 28-0, fighting Josecito Lopez, who is 36-7. That one is for a title of the WBA World Super World Welterweight title. The Super World. What is the Super World? I've never heard of it. So that's
probably made up for money.
that's going to be on Fox. So big stage for Keith to come back, and known for his hooks. He's known for his blazing power, speed and power combined. And he's got some issues there. He's overcoming from a physical standpoint. So this is definitely a test fight for him. He's got a guy with 7 losses, and he's got none. So he knows this guy can be beat. He's got 7 tapes he can watch of how he can be beat, and we'll see how he takes advantage of that. But I think you guys are right. He's definitely going to cruise here. But the co-main event, we have 10-0 Tugsok Nyambaya fighting Claudio Marrero, the vacant IBO World Featherweight title. Marrero is 23-2. Nyambaya are 10-0. Also, heavyweights Adam Kaunacki at 18-0 fighting Gerald Washington, who's 19-2-1. And don't you have some history with this guy, Gerald? Or is that the other guy I'm thinking of? Tony.
What was that again?
Gerald Washington? Don't you know that guy?
No.
Oh.
No. That's what I thought. I'm like, no.
Who's the Jedi Knight guy? Is that him?
Well, that was Gerald Nobles.
Jared Nobles, okay.
Yeah. I was trying to think, and I'm like, no. I'm like, you're trying to think, what history do I have? I didn't know you were. I know it was Gerald Jedi Nobles.
Okay.
So.
Anyway, we got my mind confused. Also, middleweights Cordell Booker fighting Juan D'Angel. Booker is 13-0. D'Angel is 21-9-1. And then we got Gary Antoine Russell on the card. He's not fighting anybody crazy, but worth mentioning. That's going to be a pretty good card all around for Fox. See if we get some decent fights on the undercard going. Now, down in Houston, Texas, we got a big fight for Jesus. Jesus fight of the week here. Jesus is 26-2-2, and he's fighting Can XU. He's 15-2. Can Zoo. Jesus M. Rojas. He is 26-2-2, fighting for the WBA World Featherweight title here. There's a big Jesus fight from Golden Boy Promotions. And it headlines co-main event of Somebody So's Got to Go fight. Jamie Munguia, 31-0 at super welterweight, fighting Takeshi Inui, who is 13-0-1, and it's for the WBO World Super Welterweight title. It's interesting seeing all these Asian fighters in the top billing here for a fight in Texas. I think there's a big Asian community in Texas. That would be coming out to watch this, but anyway. Not sure if it's going to be on TV at all, but looks like a pretty decent couple of fights. It's like Latin America Canal Space, it says on BoxRec, but could be some other places too. Anyway, also super lightweights Virgil Ortiz Jr., who's 11-0, and another Jesus. 2 Jesus fights on one card. It's unheard of. Jesus A. Valdez Barayan, who is 23-4-1. That's super lightweight. That's wild. Mismatch of the week. Pick anyone on that one card we were talking about. 20-something and 29 and 20-9 versus somebody's debut. Yeah, I guess that's mismatch of the week.
Is it just a fighter shortage?
I know.
That would cause that? I mean, you got to wonder what the matchmaker's thinking.
No, that fight was in the Dominican Republic, so that probably explains that.
Okay.
The fight card that I was talking about. So I guess the thing we got to talk about here is the Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix coming up tomorrow in Inglewood, California. They're calling it Bellator 214. Fedor Emelianenko fighting Ryan Bader. Emelianenko is 38-5. Bader is 26-5. And we got the biggest prospect, Aaron Pico, fighting a former guest of ours, Henry Corrales, who is 16-3. Aaron Pico is 4-1. Also, Jake Hager making his debut. He's 0-0, fighting J.W. Kaiser, who's 0-1. Not too familiar with Hager, but it's also Juan Archuleta on the card. He's 21-1, fighting Ricky Bandejas, who is 11-1. And we'll go through the rest of the list. Nothing too huge, no big names. But yeah, Bader versus Emelianenko. Let's see if you can get your repaired crystal ball to work on this one, Tom. What do you think? So with us, Tom?
Yeah, you faded out there for a minute.
Oh, sorry. What do you think, Fedor versus Emelianenko? Is your crystal ball working enough?
Well, we go back 10 years, this wouldn't even be discussed. Or even, 15 years. But now it just seems like Bader has just hit everything right on the numbers. So, the only concern is he has been a bit shitty in the past. But I think if he does what he does best, I think he's going to pull it off.
Fedor?
Even though my heart's Bader, like I said, I think that Bader has just hit his stride right now. I mean, everything is going so good for him. I don't know what he's done, but he's like a different fighter from a couple of years ago. So I think it's just time. Well, even though my heart goes with Fedor, but I think Bader is going to pull it off.
To me, Ryan Bader is like a Stipe Miocic type of heavyweight. He's lean and mean. He comes out here with a lot of quickness. But the thing he has that Stipe doesn't have as great of is the amazing wrestling background.
Right.
But I think he's just as powerful a striker, if not even a little bit more dynamic. And Fedor is just so unconventional. I think a lot of it comes from the sambo, but it's just that right hand. That right hand just comes out of nowhere, and he'll look like he's gone out, and it's just somehow he's back in the mix. So, it's going to be interesting to see this one.
Yeah, it sure is, and I'm going to be torn because, like I said, I just feel that Vader's going to pull it off. But not that I dislike him, but I mean Fedor is just so special. So it should be an entertaining night while it lasts. And that's the thing with Fedor. Like you said, he's just so unconventional.
I don't see it going to a decision either way. I think it doesn't get out of the second round. Definitely.
I agree.
And I would actually think Bader would be more inclined to get a submission on him or ground and pound him rather than get a stand-up knockout. Because that's the worst place you want to be with Fedor. And he's such a good wrestler, he could take him down the ground and take him out that way. But on the feet, striking, he could do it too if he got him quick enough. And he just formed him with a lot of speed and power. But if it goes long enough and Fedor does that old rope-a-dope, I'm hurt, and then comes up with a right hand somewhere and connects, and Fedor's going to go down. Because if he gets hit with a solid right, that's it. That's it for anybody. That's one thing that Emelianenko has that just amazes me, because he's one of those guys who does not have the physique of a fighter. He comes in looking like a plumber. Big old pot belly.
Yeah, what do they call that? Dad bod? Yeah, they call that dad bod. Dad bod. Yeah, he's got a dad bod.
It just comes out of nowhere, the strength and power. I don't know how he does it.
Right. I mean, it's there, and it'll be there. And I think it is that kind of fight where Bader has to be perfect. Mm-hmm. Fedor doesn't.
Good defense.
But I think Bader is capable of fighting a perfect fight for 25 minutes if he just does his thing, takes him down, controls him, and just keeps doing enough so he won't be stood up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it either way, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be the end of Fedor if he loses, but definitely going to make him think twice about his fight game. Make some adjustments if this goes to lawyer. But anyway, well, I don't think we'll see the last of him even if he loses. And we got Aaron Pico, 4-1, fighting Henry Corrales, who's 16-3. He's had some wars, Henry. And Pico had a dud in his debut, a real big dud. Lost, and then he's just poured it on since then. So we'll see if he's the real deal. I guess a tough contender here, and Henry's come a long way. He was undefeated when he came into the Bellator, and just faced a lot of tough fighters since we interviewed him. So he's looking to get back on the winning track with this one. They need a lot. They need a lot of motivation and things to go right for him to stomp down the up and comer here. That's about it for that one. The fights we're talking about. And I think that's it for all our news stuff too. Unless you guys got anything else we forgot.
Well, I didn't get a chance. You know how I always go with my little moments, and it was one of my off nights today. You know, when by the way, Rich, congratulations on your team making it back to another Super Bowl.
Oh, thank you.
Good luck this year. I'm wishing myself the best luck in the block pools. You know, I'm in about 4 of them, so I better win something. But I'm, trying to get myself ready. You know, I got Florida coming up in about 7 weeks, so of course, I'm starting to get a little antsy now, and getting my training up. Got my new Phillies outfit coming in about a month, so I've been kicking the training back in overdrive since tree season's been done, and this week, since my company was closed on Monday, I trained at home, and I'm trying to break in a new pair of gloves. And I'll tell you right now, Rich, I'm sure you know this, and Tom, and I'm sure you know this, when you're breaking in a new pair of equipment, it's not the easiest thing in the world. It's like breaking in a pair of running shoes. They hurt. And I put these gloves on, and I lasted 2 rounds of them, and I had to get them off, and I had to put a broken in pair to get through the other 8 rounds. But I did it. I'm like, all right, I got this game plan, and my game plans are always genius. You're a tornado. You have good ideas. So when I go to the gym after work, that way I don't have to fight traffic on the way home. It's only 2 miles from my house. I say, okay, I know Monday and Wednesday I usually do running. I'll run about 3 or so miles. Do maybe a little jumping rope in there. And then I'll do some shadow boxing, maybe some crunches, some core work. Things like a Tuesday, I'll stick mostly to weights. That's my weight day. And then maybe a little shadow boxing and core work. Then Thursday is boxing day. That's the day where I know there's nobody in the room. I can get in there uninterrupted for an hour, tape up, do my work, get a good one in, get my frustrations out. And then Friday usually is like a calisthenics day, jumping rope. Tomorrow I got a guy that I'm going to do some pad work with. I'm going to train him. So this week, I'm at home on Monday, so I did work downstairs in my basement, went in the sauna for a little bit. Not a bad day. And then Tuesday, I get to the gym, I did running. So I ran on Tuesday. I said, I'm going to skip weights this week. Ran on Tuesday. Tuesday night, my knee feels twinged. I'm like, shit, this doesn't feel good. It was in the back of my knee. I'm like, fuck. All right. I'm sure maybe because the weather's been so damp, I'll be fine. My pants kept falling down on Tuesday night. I wasn't too happy about that, so I was going to moon everybody. Yeah. So I go back Wednesday. I'm like, I'm going to try to run again. Not the wisest thing in the world, but I'm going to do it again. So I ran another 3 miles last night. Did some, did some core work. Felt pretty good. I said, all right, tonight I'm going to box. I could have done it last night. I said, no, I'm going to do it tonight because I got a new sauna suit coming, and I'm going to break these gloves in tonight. I'm not even going to wrap my hands because I'm going to do light bag work, so I don't have to wrap my hands. I got it all figured out. And rain today, so I didn't get my outside walk walking in, and I got all this pent-up energy, and I'm like trying to hold the tiger by the tails. We get to that gym, they got my room booked because they decided to open up a new class, and they put it on the app, which I don't check. I haven't checked the app in 2 years because they haven't had a class at that time for 2 years. They had an old person meditation yoga class with 2 people. 2 fucking people. I'm like, you're taking up this whole room for 2 people. So now I'm in a bad mood. Now my knee is bothering me, so I should not be doing any high impact work. Hence the fact that I was going to box tonight. I ended up jumping rope for 4 or 5 rounds. And now I am like snorting. I am so mad. I was in another room, no bags. Jumped my rope, did my shadow boxing. I am like snorting to the point of mad. And then I was able to get in there for 4 rounds between classes. I got out of there. I pulled the one assistant manager, administrative guy aside, and I'm like, listen, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, he's like, we put it on the app. I'm like, dude, when would I check the app if you haven't had a class in here for 2 years? You should have had a big sign on the outside of the glass saying, Thursday night, 4:30, old person meditation yoga. So you wouldn't want to walk by because you think, oh, hey, they're for the class, or maybe it's a hot girl aerobics class. No, you don't even get that. You get a fat woman and an old guy doing yoga. I don't want to see that shit. So, yeah. If I had a quota of F-bombs and I was low on them going into tonight's workout, I exceeded them. Then I'm driving home, and I am spitting out. Like, if somebody cut me off, oh, yeah, no, not good. So I've been on like my ornery edge all night tonight. And when I go there tomorrow, I will go there tomorrow because I promised one of my friends I will be there to work pads with them, and I'm not going to break my word. But they're not going to get the usual jovial, hey, what time is it, tornado time, or, tornado, the joke I do. Tomorrow, go in there, hood up, shades on, here's my card, get the fuck out of my way.
Nice.
You have, and sometimes I'm one of those guys, like, I am wound tight as it is, and that's what makes me, that's why I think I always was a big Vinny Paz fan, because he was always that in-your-face kind of guy, wound up beyond belief, and when it was over, it took him a while to unwind, and sometimes in the case of Dana Rosenblatt, he never did unwind. That's like me, like sometimes he'll bring me up on a topic from like 20 years ago, and I'll get fired up about it so quick again. And so it doesn't, but that's my edge. That's what makes me me. That's why some people like me, some people...
Rich, yeah, Rich, I think what Tony needed to do was go in there and join the meditation group. Do some yoga. Lower your vibes there, buddy, okay? That the answer was right in front of you.
Right?
Relax. There was somebody, and my one friend, she posted a thing yesterday on Facebook about sometimes another Italian group. Sometimes what you really need to do is just sit back and relax. And I'm like, yeah, funny. And then I think you'll read this again.
Yeah, I was going to do that today, but I said, no, I got to do at least a half cord of wood. So I get over to the job site. Roads are fine, but this guy's driveway is so bad. I put the car in park, put the emergency brake on, put the truck in park, and we're walking around seeing what kind of trees we got to cut down for firewood. And I come back to the truck, and my buddy's like, what did you do? He's been right near me the whole time, so obviously I haven't moved. But he thinks I somehow got in the truck and moved it. But nope, it slid halfway down the driveway. Thankfully into a snowbank. It didn't do any damage, but oh my god. So that was the first thing of the day. And then I had to cut down a cherry tree that was leaning sort of towards the woods, but I knew it could go the bad way, so I put the chain on it, and it still fell into the street. But thankfully, nobody was driving by, so we got it cleared out pretty quickly. But yeah. Been a couple times this winter. I've been risking my life trying to cut these damn trees down. But that's why you got good reaction time. Gotta have good reaction time.
Yeah.
My boxing reflexes and my stance and all that, it all comes into play. But sometimes running is bad though in tree work, because you get all hyped up and scared and run from a tree, and you likely trip over something and have it fall on you. That's the bad thing. Anyway, that's my bad day at work, friend. Weight thing's going good though. So I'm walking around at 195 now, so that's good.
Well,
Maybe 10 more pounds to my college weight. What's that? What's 185? Welterweight?
middleweight.
Middleweight, yeah. It's middleweight.
Let's see it, yeah.
So we'll see. Summer would be a good time to get the training back going. I don't think I could run on these roads right now. It's bad. Alright guys, we're going to call it a night, and we'll try to get a little bit more of a solid guest for next week. It's more reliable. But a little bit of a snippet from Charles Krazy Horse Bennett. Nothing wrong with that. He's a busy man.
Yeah. Seems it.
Well, thanks guys.
Of course.
Have a good
All
week.
right, guys.
Stay dry.
Enjoy the fight this weekend.
We'll try.